digital and digital transformation mean for Infor? How does it differ by industry? Well, one of the key characteristics is digital and digital transformation is that is just a means to an end. Really what our customers want to do is drive improved performance in their business. And digital is a mechanism of how to get there. So why are we different? It's because we have very specialized solutions by industry. So we focus very much on the outcomes that our technology can drive. Outcomes is something I'm really passionate about, and it's something that Infor is really passionate about. An outcome is a performance improvement. It's an improvement in KPIs. It's ensuring you get your on-time and full deliveries to your customers. It's ensuring you manage your period ends really quickly. It means your stock accuracy is high. Those are all outcomes, and if you get the outcomes right, they drive value, they drive business benefit, they drive financial outcomes or financial value, so improving of revenue, improving of profitability, managing your working capital better. So that outcomes really drive financial benefit and ultimately a return on investment for invested in technology. So what are the steps for a digital transformation initiative? Well, the key first step is really understanding your business, where you want to take the business and the outcomes you want to drive. And that's something that we do very clearly as a step one with Infor, is to really truly understand our customers' businesses and really help them understand the outcomes that they can drive in their business. And once you know that, then you can choose the right solution to help you get there. And that's one of the key drivers for Infor, because we have great technology that helps drive those outcomes out of the box, in the cloud. It's easy to deploy our technology and it's focused on achieving those outcomes. Infor succeeds when our customers succeed. That means that they've achieved the outcomes they've set out to achieve. So we're passionate about deploying our technology when we deliver projects so that it focuses very much on those outcomes. So outcomes is the key word, and that will drive value. I think one of the things that makes Infor unique in the way in which we deploy technologies is that we take ownership for our projects. Yes, we have great technology. Yes, we deliver it in the cloud. You could argue that our competitors have that, but one of the things that really sets us aside is that we truly have industry-specific software that is designed for the verticals that we sit within, not hundreds of different verticals with one solution. We have industry-dedicated solutions, but also we take responsibility for the project. So our customers don't have to go to lots of different people and they're pointing to somebody else who takes responsibility if there's an issue. We take responsibility for driving a successful project. So that's a key differentiator for Infor. So what advice would we give for companies embarking on a digital transformation journey? Well, step one is really have a clear view about what you want to achieve. What are those outcomes you're driving to achieve? Step two is choose a vendor that can help you achieve those outcomes. So we make life easy for our customers in Infor because we have industry-specific solutions and we tailor our delivery projects, and we call them implementation accelerators, but really they're targeted to achieve those outcomes out of the box with our software. It's delivered in the cloud, so it's really simple and easy to deploy. And most importantly, we take ownership for the delivery of the project, so it's focused on the outcomes. That's really the key. Step two is don't get lost in the detail. It's really easy when you're running complex projects. It takes a lot of time, it's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of people involved. It's very difficult to take a step back and say, look, what are we actually looking to achieve? And that's where outcomes come into this. If you have a clear view on the outcome, you can just ask the very simple question, are we on track to all the project milestones? Are we on track to the budget? But most importantly, we can ask the key stakeholders of the business, are you on track to achieve the outcome you're looking to achieve? So if you put those three things together, you've got a great combination.
I'm here with Brad from Infor. Brad, how does design thinking play into the process of digital transformation?
I think design thinking is extremely important. Design thinking in its premise is about getting to the root of the problem. So sometimes we look at surface level problems and it's not really what we're trying to solve. So if you're looking at better business outcomes or driving value, it's getting everybody together to spend some time and actually think about what is the actual problem. So design thinking is about using certain techniques, getting people together, getting them to collaborate and engage so you get to a point where this is the true problem we're trying to solve. And there might be multiple problems, could be opportunities, could be challenges. So we get to that level of detail and look to see where technology can solve problems, because we know there's process, we know there's people, and technology does solve things both directly and indirectly. But if you're solving the wrong problem, you need to get to a point when you're trying to transform, you get to the end, it's like, well, that's not the true problem we've been trying to solve. So the simple examples, just to put it in reality, fixing an elevator, if it's slow, what do? Fix the hardware, fix the software, spend millions of dollars? Well, you can do that, but most elevators have mirrors. And why is that? It's because it distracts people from actually spending a lot of time in an elevator waiting. So they check their hair, they make sure they look nice. That's an example of what design thinking does. It's reframing the problem, thinking of it a different way. It's something we as people don't really get the opportunity to do. So Infor has invested in putting design thinking into our process to make sure that our customers truly know what the problems are, align it to their vision, and make sure that they get successful outcomes at the end of the day.
That's great. And how has digital transformation changed in 2020?
It's incredible. The acceleration with digital transformation is amazing. I mean, COVID's a perfect example. Do you think, in the technology industry for over 20 years, and now you're looking at things such as cloud, you're looking at things such as IoT, Internet of Things, where you can bring in data and use that data to really look at an organization or your industry or your customers and rethink new business models, rethink how you can optimize. So most companies today, they could be retailers, could be healthcare, hospitals as an example, they could be automotive organizations. You got to think as a technology company. Someone like Amazon as an example spends about 10% of their revenues on investment for R&D. Now, that's where the cloud becomes important, because all of those investments they've made, you can leverage as an organization. So you can think like a technology company, even though you're a hospitality or a healthcare or a retailer. So that's really important to think in 2020 is you need to be quick when you transform. You need to do it in a cost-effective way. You need to do it with a minimal risk. And these technologies that are available, compared to traditionally where you do an on-premise implementation, you manage your own infrastructure, you are thinking and having to be a technology company spending all this money, whereas you can get it provided by someone else, like Infor. We do that for you. And at the end of the day, then you can focus on really what you need to do as an experience for your customers, making sure you're hitting on your metrics, and again, driving those outcomes.
How does Infor work with customers embarking on the digital transformation journey?
Yeah, so the short answer absolutely is start with the end in mind. That's our mantra. So really understanding the organization to begin with. So when we work with our customers, it's like, who are you? Why are you doing what you do? So if you understand the who and the why, then the how becomes a little bit more apparent. So we get in and look at the customer, what's their vision, what's their mission, their purpose, the strategic pillars, all those key things to see the direction that they want to travel. And then, okay, well, how does technology play a role in helping them realize their vision, how to drive their mission? So when you're doing a digital transformation, you've got to think of that North Star, the direction they're trying to head. And so it's putting in place those early stage aspects to truly understand what are the key things you're trying to solve, again with technology, also process, also people, to make sure that you're set up for success. And then as you traverse through that journey, and digital transformation could be optimizing, it could be looking at business models, it could be connecting a lot of your systems together. There's many, many different aspects, and they're very transactional things, but when you start to pull it all together, that's where you're truly transforming, because it's the journey that your people are going on. It's the new experiences that your customers are going to have. It's how you connect your third party, your supply chain, especially in the 2020s and with COVID, all these geopolitical issues, all these supply chain constraints we're having with labor resources, getting things from A to B. You've got to take that all into consideration. Plus, that's just today. What about tomorrow? What's the next mile look at? So you want to be set up for success so that you continue to innovate, to continue to evolve, because if you stay static, you're going to be dead in a few years. You have to keep changing. So it's really, really important to really understand what digital transformation is as a customer, and we can help you do that as well.
What are some of the pitfalls that the organisation fall into when executing a digital transformation initiative?
Yeah, there's a number of things. So customers begin with a great journey, they have their vision, they start to get into the process. But as things go on, they look at cost, they look at risk, and they forget the North Star, they forget the outcomes that we're trying to get into. I mean, a simple example we've seen many times with our customers is these little modifications and things that they think are unique. Is it really the secret sauce of your organization? Does it really make and drive value ultimately for your customer within the organization? So you've got to always align and anchor back to your vision. Where are you trying to head as an organization? And what we try to do with Infor, if you're trying to digitally transform and you're in a specific industry, because we are last mile specific, we can get you the key uniqueness that you have in your organization so that you can get started faster, you can get implemented faster with less risk and less cost, so you can continue that journey, stay on that path, because that's really, really important. It's also top-down, so thinking about leadership. So those leaders set the vision. You've got to keep continuing to communicate down to your employees, continue to communicate out to your customers. What is the new organization? What is your V2? Because that's really important. You've got to continue to over-communicate. So you've got the technology part of the implementation, you've got the change, so the championing of make sure people understand why we're doing this. It's the traditional Simon Sinek. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So again, really understanding that so that everyone's moving in the same direction. Because if you've got people going all these different directions, you're going to ultimately fail. I mean, ultimately, digital transformation, it's a term that everybody uses. Digitizing is one thing, but digital transformation is a huge undertaking for many organizations. It can make and break you. So you really have to do it right. So making sure you lay the right foundation, have your people moving in the same direction, and be as efficient and effective as possible as you're moving through it.
What's the difference between digitizing and digital transformation?
Yeah, so digitizing can wrap underneath the term of digital transformation. So we got a lot of words out there. You hear the word optimizing, automating. It's really taking what you do today, if it's manual, it's outside of technology, and bringing it in there and making it more optimized, making it more automated. That's really what digitizing is. But a lot of organizations, people confuse digitizing with digital transformation. So what we do in an organization is to look at them and say, oh, where can we focus on bottom line optimization, where we can take out cost? How can we automate things? How do we make people focus more on the future rather than having to match invoices or having to spend a lot of time? That's what digitizing really is. But digital transformation is much, much bigger. It's rethinking, looking at top line growth, regional growth into other countries or new business models. A lot of much more aspirational aspects. And that technology foundation, allows you to do what you do today, what those features and functions and requirements you have, but also enables you in the future. So we look at it as last mile, getting all those last mile things optimized, and then focusing on the next mile. What do you want to do next? Because you have to evolve as an organization. So digital transformation is huge, and it's a big undertaking for customers. We try and simplify it in terms of cost and risk, absolutely, but you got to get things set up for success right. That's why I always say start with the end in mind.